Well, guys, it's a strange look on her, I'll tell you what. But last night after work, I stayed here and I pulled the entire drive line out of this thing, so this is where we're at. Obviously, it's nothing crazy to do. You remove the drive shaft, and transmission is mounted with 4 bolts. A lovely manual transmission, just comes right out. And there's 2 bolts on these mounts here. You remove those, and then 1 bolt off this center mount for the 6-cylinder, and obviously the accessories, and she comes out. I had my coworker, my buddy Jeremiah, help me with the hood. We set her on the bed there. Obviously, it's kind of a funny look. It's very backwards, but very convenient. But yeah, this is where we're at. It took me a few hours last night. I left here pretty out of it, and this is my work table exactly how I left it. All I moved was the tools. So here we are. I'll look at it. This alternator I just replaced. This flex fan's not a true flex fan. I've always ran it because my buddy Ryan gave it to me a long time ago, and I always just thought it was cool. You know, I like that 90s stuff. Help me. But got the intake and exhaust here. The repair's still holding up. For those of you guys that didn't know, that's just that's a weld nut. We clearanced that. This had snapped off. This whole ear had snapped off. So we clearanced for this weld nut. Just kind of made a shape in that square shape and put it in there. I heated this thing with oxyacetylene with a rosebud torch, and the same guy who helped me with the hood here, Jeremiah, he MIG'd it in, and we ground it down, and it's held up. It's a good repair. It's the threads work well. You know, I was able to tighten my exhaust. This one's obviously broken, so it's like I could almost do the same thing on this side if I was tempted. But yeah, there's that. Got my beautiful scripted valve cover, favorite, Rochester, old slave cylinder. Am I still allowed to call it that? Something I was kind of lazy magnet, all the bolts I dropped. Something that I was kind of marveling about here is this gearbox is tiny. This is a tiny little gearbox, you know what I mean? And how many places I've gone, how many miles I've driven, errands, everything else that I've used with this tiny little gearbox. And this is, to me, a true testament to the manual transmission. You know, it's just so simple and hard to break. There's no plumbing, there's no nothing. It just keeps working and working and working. You know, and I'm saying how many places I've gone, and that's only 10 years of this truck's service, you know. It's a 63-year-old truck. Can you imagine how many miles this, like, you know? People should be singing this thing's praises. Instead, they throw it in the backyard and never use it again. I've ran it for 2 years. The ear's only been broken for 1. But that's something. Still got this Hurst Indy kit on it from when we replaced the column shifter linkage, the 3 on the tree. I put my tree on the floor, as I always say. But my buddy basically set this up for me when I was I just turned 21 years old, I think, and I'm still green. So you got to imagine how green I was back then. So that's something. The Camaro rear end is the Camaro rear end. Say Camaro rear end 5 times fast, guys. The Camaro rear end is actually not related at all. I don't know why I'm recording it. I don't think they had single piston rear disc brakes in 1960. But yeah, guys, this is her. I got some work to do. I got some serious work to do. A level 1 scrape the shit off, as Cold War Motors says. Got a lot of work cleaning here. I'm gonna scrape some of this thicker stuff off onto the pig mat, and then I'll probably have to clean up with a rag and some gasoline, and then I'll do a final cleaning with some Purple Power and a pressure washer. There's another one, Purple Power pressure washer. Say Purple Power pressure washer a few times, guys. Jeez. Why do people watch my videos? But yeah, guys, this is it. This is, I also have here, I didn't ignore it. I'm sorry, I didn't do that. I did that on purpose there. This is the horseshoe mount for the V8 conversion. Well, conversion, but it came stock. You see, it goes right here in the K-member, right there, behind the 6-cylinder mount, and then the V8 bell housing sits in right there on those two mounts, kind of like a Tri-5 style, and then the front of the V8, of course, will mount to this. And this 6-cylinder mount here, it's riveted on to the frame. You can see the rivets there. And those things, I mean, you can remove them. I have it. You drill them, you air hammer them and stuff. I can remove them, but I kind of want to leave the mount there just as a testament to the truck's history, so people know where she came from. You know, I don't know if that's asinine, but I do a lot of things that are asinine. I'm an ass of a man. You guys know this. Anybody who watches my videos, you know this. But let's check out the engine. You guys get to walk with me. Walk through this world with me. Go where I go. I don't understand why people watch my videos. But thank you guys. Just the same. I appreciate everybody. You guys are great folks. Great folks. All right. There she is, guys. Palletized. 6 cylinders. The mighty 235. The mighty 6-cylinder. This thing worked and worked and worked and worked its whole life. Now I do have to probably dissect this thing. I have a gentleman that wants to buy it from me, and I've considered selling it just because it's 600 pounds of responsibility, and you know, I guess I got a lot going on right now. But I'd considered selling it to him just because he's a lowrider guy, and he'd probably put it in an older, I think an early 50s truck or car. And this thing being in a lowrider, sounds like a solid retirement. You know, she'll be cruising, no more hard work. She can just float down the boulevard and have a good time. So, you know, just saying, just considering it, guys. Plus, I sure could use some extra cash. But there she is, guys. It's strange to see her like this, but you know, it's really apparent. You can see again that oil leak here on the right side of the engine, and it was bad. And obviously I think the oil got low, and me pushing that thing on the freeway with low oil, you know, I threw the rod in this one. So, well, I didn't throw a rod, but I spun a bearing. Pretty sure. Again, I have to dissect it, but it's a fairly safe assumption. But I've also been running it with that, so little secret between you guys and myself. Just missing a little piece there, kind of like my face, a little piece, you know, kind of right there. But I healed up, guys. I'm looking okay now. I'm not too messed up. You know, I'm in. Got my Gringo shirt on. That's a Western channel on YouTube. If you guys haven't watched the Gringo Network, watch him. He's got a lot of old spaghetti westerns, esoteric westerns that you will not see anywhere else. You may see them somewhere else, but not in German, not the dubbed version, not the proper version, maybe not in widescreen. Check out Gringo. Gringo. Keep your hand on your gun. Don't you trust anyone. There's just one kind of man that you can trust, that's a dead man or a gringo like me. Anyway, guys, I can get myself back out here and probably actually get to work instead of sitting here yapping at you. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to get to work, try to get this thing running again. Check your fluids.